So I had to go to town this morning for a meeting and I got this super cute dress while I was there. Whoops. One of the boutiques, I had a clearance rack out the front. Look how cute it is. So it's got these super cute bows on the shoulders, but it's just, yeah, not great for a 40-something mum. So I'm going to alter this. It's probably a size too big, to be honest. So I want to lift it up. Unfortunately, the bows don't actually untie. They're actually joined together. So I'm going to raise those shoulders and stitch and rebow it. Just bring it up just a touch. But I'm also thinking I might add a couple of darts just under the bust, maybe. I could run it in a bit on the side. I mean, it's designed to be loose-ish, but it just feels just a little bit too boxy. And so I'm thinking maybe even if I just bring it in around the bust so it's a bit fitted there and keep the volume in the skirt. So that's my plan. So what I might do is I'm going to raise those first and then try it on again before I start pinning the bust darts and see how it goes. So the fabric is super pretty. It's almost a cheesecloth type of thing. It's got these beautiful open weaves in here. So it's fairly light. So it's more a summer dress, but I think it will work for Easter. It's got the pockets there. So when I untie the bow, this is the shoulder. It's not much. It's just a couple of little stitches across there. So that's not going to be hard to shift down. I feel like it only needs to come down an inch or two. So I'll do that on both shoulders. And then I'll try it on again because then that's going to adjust how everything sits. It does have this, like it's elastic in the back there, so I got a bit of stretch. It was like 70% off and that fabric is really beautiful. And it's got pockets. Who can argue with pockets? It will be great for summer as well, for barbecues and the beach and stuff. So I'm going to get it altered and see how we go. I've also got a dress for my daughter to alter for Easter. So that's going to be my job this morning. Let's get the sewing machine out. So that's the original there, and then I've just stitched in there. I kept it really simple. I lined this seam up with the 1 inch on my sewing machine and then just did a couple of rows backwards and forwards there. So this other side is slightly different sizing. So I didn't want to go too far down. It's only still right there. So I'm going to leave that on for now. Go and try this on and then I'll unpick this, retie the bow and see what we think. Okay, so the shoulders fit really well there now. That sits nicely under my arm with plenty of room to move. Possibly a little higher here than I would have gone, but I'd rather it be a little bit high than too low. I've just pinned in some under bust darts and I'm actually not loving it. So like, yeah, I think because of the pattern of the fabric, that doesn't really work. So my next thing to try is I might try pinning in just a little bit in through here. See if I like that. Otherwise I might just, like if I take that out, I mean, that's not terrible. It's just a nice loose summer dress, but yeah, just a bit of shape in through here. I still need to unpick and retie those as well. So I'll pin here and we'll see what we think of that. Okay, so that's pinned in. Just get that over my shoulder so I can see the shape of the actual dress. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it does shape it a little bit, but then is that making the hips a bit poofy? I'm wondering. So that's, yeah, like I do like the bit of extra shape. I do like the bit of extra shape, but I feel like I'm possibly just overthinking this. Where's that other pin? Pull that out. Maybe I just lean into the whole loose boxy dress thing. The other thing I was thinking when I was at the shop is if I made like a belt to pull it in, but I feel like because of where the pockets are, like, oh no, the pockets are there. That's not too bad. So possibly a belt, but you know what, I'm gonna say let's call it close enough. Actually, I could fiddle with it all day, so I'm gonna go unpick and tie these up, and then I'll pull my daughter's dress out and we'll get it altered. So I've just unpicked this and it's actually solidifying my decision to not attempt the darts because that's left holes in the fabric because it is such a fine fabric. And if I didn't like the darts, then I'm going to end up with holes in my dress. So I'm going to call that done and I'm just going to go unpick the other one now and tie the little bunny ears. So looking at the original bows, I'm pretty sure they were just double loop bunny ear bows. So I'll tie those up, hang it up, and this dress is ready for Easter. Okay, so here's this green dress. I've pinned the darts that need going. I was hoping to kind of lift the lining and do it in two parts, but the lining is actually attached at the waist. So that's actually sewn in with the skirt. So I think I'm just going to have to do cheat darts and do it with both the lining and the outside caught together. It's a super cute little dress. We just picked it up at DFO. So I'm just going to, I've pinned that, like she's worn it and I've pinned that. So my first step is going to be to measure it to make sure both darts fit, both darts match. And then, yeah, fiddle with it to make sure that the lining and the bodice seams are lined up and everything's where it should be before I actually sew it. So that's my first job. So this is what the darts look like on the inside, and let's just flip it inside out. And this is the outside. They have matched up with the original princess seams beautifully. So that's kind of the top of the dart there. So when she gets home, I'll get her to try it on, double check those fit. And yeah, I'm super excited. I've had this dress on my desk for like 2 weeks. So I've been putting it off and putting it off, and look at that. It was like literally a 10-minute job. So I ended up taking in, I measured up 3 inches from the waist and then in by 1/2 inch and brought that down to match the seam at the waistband. And then from the waistband, I measured up to 5 3/4 inches. And so from this mark, this halfway mark, then I went up and joined it up there, did that on both sides. This side felt harder to get the seam and the bodice, the seam and the lining to sit nicely, but I got it in the end. So all done. Thanks for joining me at my sewing machine. I'll see you tomorrow for another VEDA video.